Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Apex Racing TV. My name is Scott Newton, and I'm here alongside Conrad Venter, and we're here to bring you live action of the Sim Racers Asia Proto-GT Series here at Mid-Ohio. Welcome to the broadcast, Conrad. Should be a good evening's worth of racing here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. What are your thoughts on this race tonight?
Yeah, it's my first time in the booth for this series. I've certainly watched quite a few rounds in the past before, but yeah, what interests me about the series is the unique format they've got. They've got the three different classes with the prototypes and the GT1s and the GT3s, and all mixed up on the grid. They're not sorted out by class when it comes to gridding. So you have GT1s and radicals and GT3s all mixed up. It certainly makes for very interesting racing.
Yeah, just taking a look at the weather conditions at the moment. Obviously we've got an ambient condition of 26 degrees Celsius with a humidity of 55%, partly cloudy with a small northerly wind of 3 kilometers an hour. So should be nice and grippy out there for the drivers today, given that it's morning conditions as well.
Track conditions, like it says, only 30 degrees. So, as we're aware, with iRacing, nice cooler conditions gives plenty of grip. The guys will have to be aware, though, in the first few laps that while the tires get up to pressure, they are going to be a bit slippery. But after that, it's we're certainly going to be seeing some quick lap times.
Just taking a look at the championship standings after the last round at Suzuka. In the GT1s, currently leading the championship standings by 1 point is Katerine Barafia for Archipelago Racing on 137 points. Close behind him is Yus de Vries on 136. Third place Andika Ramamaluna, teammate to Katerine Barafia in third. DK Lee for iRacing Korea in fourth, and Weihan Chern for Red Bat Racing in running out the top 5 in the GT1s. The top 5 in the prototype division, Ross Rizzo currently leading with 174 points. Actually quite a big gap to second place driver Yazrin Yali for YLab Motorsport on 116 points. Fani Lajasrati for Archipelago Racing in third. Currently tied with Federico Texeria for Macau Sim Racing on 105 points. and 1 point behind those two drivers in Kevin Wong for Archipelago Racing on 104 points. In the GT3 standings, in the overall, you got Adam Zeitinger for Pro Sports Racing on 140 points. Closely behind him is Ben Hackerson on 131 points. Ahmad Nirazam in third place for YLab Motorsports on 87 points. Fourth, Indra Ferianto for teammate Ahmad Nirazam, currently leading the Clubman Series as well on 81 points, and Kin Keong on 68 points, rounding out the top 5 overall in the GT3 class. For the team championship, we've got Proforce Racing on 432 points, with a 100-point lead over YLab Motorsport on 330. Macau Sim Racing on 296 in fourth place. Archipelago Racing on 196, and then rounding out the top 5 is iRacing Korea on 151 points. So yeah, it's looking it's pretty interesting in some championships, especially with the GT1 and the GT3, with very, very small points gaps between some of the drivers out there.
Yeah, Ross Rizzo is definitely stamped down his authority on the prototype class. Just looking at the team championship, Scott. Obviously, we've got the 3 classes. Can you just explain to us exactly how the scoring works for the team championship? So we've obviously got drivers for the same teams but in different classes.
Yeah, so obviously with the points currently, it's the classes are separated in their results. So obviously with the GT1s and the Radicals, they like if they're first in that particular class, they'll attain the maximum points for the first place. So it's not necessarily your overall position that you gain the points, but it's actually the class that you gain them. And in the class, in the case of the GT3, it's within the Pro-Am and the Clubman series that gets separated. So different points separated for obviously the different levels of the driver out there, but it also makes for a close championship, regardless of skill level.
Yeah, well, it certainly adds to the uniqueness of the championship, and yeah, it might if you've got a teammate coming through in a different class, you might just be more inclined to help him a little bit more, pull over a little easier, and make it not so easy for somebody in the same class but in a different team.
So just having a look at qualifying at the moment, got Ross Rizzo currently on the pole position at the moment with just under 3 minutes to go. Got quite a sizable gap at the moment. It's about 0.6 of a second to Katarine Boafia in the GT1. Currently third at the moment is Colin Klopman on an 18.2, Yasmin Yali in the Radical on an 18.2 as well, and Lachlan Crowe just closely behind him on an 18.3 at the moment. So
yeah, Yali would really do himself a lot of favors if he can get onto that front row with Ross Rizzo. Otherwise, he's going to have 2 Corvettes between him and Rizzo coming off that start line, and yeah, not really a great way to go forward in order to score a win. We saw Ross Rizzo last week around Suzuka, and yeah, he basically just drove away from the front.
I've just got looking at Ben Hackerson at the moment, just starting his qualifying lap at the moment, going through turn 1, just maximising the track out there at the moment. So yeah, drivers pushing very, very hard, just trying to gain those few extra places, because track like Mid-Ohio, obviously very, very critical to keep track position, even though that the track is more inclined to the likes of the Radical, just with the downforce advantage.
Yeah, I guess within the classes themselves, overtaking is going to be a bit of a headache. From past experience, yeah, obviously you've got that long run from turn 2 down to turn 4, And then you've got that SS section going from turns 5 through to turns 9. And I guess for the classes, that might be the easier place to try and overtake, especially if somebody makes a mistake into some of those corners. Some of them are off camber, and it's really it can unsettle the car, especially if you get off the track onto the curbs a little bit. I've seen a couple of cars catch the curbs through there, and it really unsettles them. And more often than not, it ends up with a trip into the grass and possibly the barriers as well. All right, 20 seconds left in qualifying. Do they get to finish the lap after the checker has fallen in qualifying?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, they do get to finish the lap. So we should have about a minute and 40 seconds left after the checker flag comes out, as it has done now. So yeah, everyone will be trying to finish their qualifying lap just to try and stay out of the traffic as well, because that can obviously hinder your lap as well. You'll see that Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira coming up to a bit of traffic as well, ahead of him, currently in 21st place on the road, but looks as though he'll have like a top 5 or 6 start in GT3 class.
I think the last guy to make it through on a qualifying now. I don't know if Daniel Leet has made it. Came across the start. I think he no, I used Bennett anyway, so it's not going to make a difference to his qualifying place.
Yeah, I'm just going to look and see who's the last car on the road. Ben Hackerson in the pits. Simon Feigl coming across the line. Does improve his qualifying time on a 1:19.857. Steve Callahan coming through the final corner now on an 18.7, so he doesn't improve on that one. Currently starting 6th on the road, and yeah, it looks as though he was the last car across the line. So I'll get you to take us through the grid.
Yeah, we've got Ross Rizzo in the Radical SRA taking pole position, and second place next to him is going to be Buafia, another Corvette in third place with Koen Klopman. The second Radical is Yazrin Yali in fourth place, Lachlan Rowe in fifth. Then we've got Steve Callahan in a Radical in sixth place. Seventh place is Luzardi. We've got Netchen Cameron in 8th place. 9th place is US de Vries. Federico Duarte in 10th place. Jeffrey Price in 11th. Matt Luton 12th place with DK Lee in 13th. Sorry, I just lost that there for a second. 14th place is Simon Feigl. Benjamin Hackerson in 15th place. Mike Burdett in 16th. The 9th row is Adam Zetlinger and Timothy Jackson. 10th row is Martin Savlasi and Kevin Wong. 21st is Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira. 22nd, Sean Thompson. Nurazam in 23rd. Daniel Leet in 24th. Then we've got Abrifridi Putra in 25th. Benjamin Brook in 26th. Jason Benz in 27th. Mark Simon in 28th. Simon Sanchez in 29th, Cash Choi in 30th. 31st is Indra Ferranto. Ken Ko is 32nd. Bruno Cardoso in 33rd. Tracy Romschlag in 34th. Hugo Silva Jr. in 35th. Brenton O'Brien in 36th. And the last person to set a lap time is Mark Lang. The 3 cars not to have set a lap time is Alex Pohl, Nuno Pereira Tang, and Andrew Booth.
There you go, quite a sizable grid. 40 cars registered for the race. We've got 25 seconds left for the drivers to grid up, but thankfully it's a short lap that they're under the pace car just coming up through turn 9, I think it is. So yeah, it should be a great race to get underway.
Yeah, of those cars that hasn't set a lap time, doesn't look like Andrew Booth or Alex Pohl is going to take to the grid either. So we should have 38 cars on the grid. But yeah, like you said, it's a short lap. Trying to look through. Pole position was 117.3, slowest car. Well, Brenton O'Brien did a 124.8 in the GT3. There's going to be a few laps before the leaders catch up to the back of the GT3s, and then we'll soon find out what the passing is going to be like.
So yeah, Ross Rizzo is coming up with the final corner, and yeah, we're underway. Just working through. It's a fairly clean start at the moment. Corvette on the outside there of no, apologies for that. The time screen's going all over, but yeah, the Corvette in second place got the jump on Rizzo, and looks as though that the Scuderia Leone car jumping up the inside as well. So Ross Rizzo not getting the best of starts for all, as we can see a car around in the background.
This is going to present a little bit of a problem for Ross Rizzo. In qualifying trim, he was 0.6 of a second quicker than the two GT1s. And all this has done is put the two GT1s in front of him, which is going to pass again, or going to have to pass again, but it's put Yali right behind him as well.
Just looking through the rest of the field, it's been fairly clean, as we see a Audi GT1 rejoining the circuit there, but yeah, just everyone trying to sort themselves out at the moment, trying to make it single file just to get into a rhythm, but yeah, just looking back up the front, looks as though we got Kettering Borafia at the moment under pressure from Colin Klopman at the moment as it comes around to start lap 2. So yeah, on the defensive there for Borafia, but yeah, Colin Klopman just applying loads of pressure to try and get back up into first place.
I think one of those cars that we saw going around in the background and in turn 2 on lap 1 was Jules de Vries. He's back in the pits. Just having a little look back to see what happened to him exactly. Oh no, he didn't even make it to turn 2. Got the back end round in turn 1, and yeah, it looks like the engine's gone.
Yeah, it's also worth pointing out that the drivers do get a free quick repair, but obviously they have to take the tow, so it'll be about a 2-minute tow for Jules de Vries to get back out on the track. But yeah, just looking at the battle for 14th place at the moment on track. We're currently Mike Burdett, surrounded by Adam Zeitinger and Simon Feigl. All three of those drivers in the Audis at the moment, so looks as though they were pretty even on pace at the moment. Not exactly sure of their qualifying times relative to their pace, but yeah, Burdett going on the defensive there from the Evolution Racing Australia driver, Simon Feigl.
There seems to be from about 11th place down to was it 32nd as all GT3s. We've got Jeffrey Price in the GT1 sitting in 33rd. So let's see how he manages to make his way through the field.
Yeah, so yeah, as we see a Mercedes just run a little bit wide.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh, just might have got up on the curb there. I'm gonna just have a quick replay of that one. Trying to find out who that is.
Jules de Vries just came out of the pits with the repaired car, and yeah, 2 turns later, and he's got some more damage on that car. He would have had kittens seeing that in front of him. Yeah,
just looking at that replay, yeah, Simon Feigl just got great traction out on the exit of turn 2 there, but yeah, that's that slow Mercedes was unable to jump out of the way, so yeah, that resulted in the contact there. But yeah, definitely unfortunate for those two drivers there.
De Vries' championship points would have already taken a hit after that first incident. That was all his own doing. He's not having a great time, is he? He's I wonder how much damage he's got on that car after that contact with the GT3. See, he's losing the back end quite a bit. And this
Yeah,
is pretty much just going to be a damage limitation job for him from here on in.
Yeah, it's also worth pointing out that, with the points as well, it's relative to class and not to overall drive position on the road. So yeah, he's definitely in a damage limitation mode. But we'll just have to see where he is coming at the end of the race, because with the pit stop as well, I think he will have to do it in the pit lane as well, even though he has taken the tow. As he, unfortunately, he just runs a little bit wide there, turn 3. But he's definitely struggling out there today. But all these drivers having to pit as well, with the GT3s limited on the tank size, so they are required to pit. But the GT1 and the Radical just having to turn in the pit lane and stop in the box, and then they can resume. So
had quite a few guys in the pits already. Lachlan Crow, one of them. Cash Joy, Use the Free, Sean Thompson. And then we've lost a few as well. Well, we've had the 2 non-starters, and Kim Kyung is, he's still in there. I don't think he's likely to return now. Just looking at the timings in the front, doesn't look like Rizzo is in a particular mood to try and make his way past the 2 GT1s. He's managed to keep up with them, just a second and a half behind the leader, but he's got Stephen Callahan in the second Radical, 3 seconds further back. But yeah, at the moment, quite happy to sit there, just keeping with the 2 GT1s. He's not under any real pressure to make those overtakes.
no, definitely not. Because they're just coming around to let the GT3 car there at the moment to start lap 5. Apparently, Karen Klopman about 3.5 tenths quicker the last time around compared to Kettering Boafia. So yeah, Cohen's just definitely pushing it in that GT1. Just trying to get the second place driver.
Well, I suspect once if Klopman starts pulling a gap to the second place Corvette, then Rizzo might be more inclined to try and get past them. We're seeing Boafia just making a few lockups, the smoke coming off the tires.
Yeah, maybe just struggling with the brake bias there, just obviously maybe feeling the pressure from the Radical behind him, obviously been all over the back of him since the start of the race. Just making that a few little errors there can definitely cost him as he goes through the final corner now. The final section there. Doing a great job at the moment. Just having a little look further back. Battle for 4th and 5th place at the moment. Stephen Callahan slowly pulling away from Fani Maserati, about 3 tenths quicker than the last time around. Oh sorry, no, it was only 1.5 tenths quicker. So Zadri managing to stay on the back of Callahan at the moment, but yeah, Steve's slowly pulling away at the moment.
Well, it looks like Lazoardi is doing an excellent job of keeping with Callahan, because that car looks like it's been through the wars. Somebody has taken a hammer to it and not done a good job.
Looking further back in the GT3 field, Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira currently half a second behind Daniel led at the moment, so 2 relatively quick drivers. Dan managing to pull about a tenth on the last time around compared to Oliveira, so battle for would be about 4th or 5th place in, or it would be about 5th or 6th place in the overall GT3s.
It's not something we're really used to seeing in multi-class racing. We've got the 3 classes here, but the GT3 is being so outpaced in terms of the other cars that's with them on the track. Normally in the official stuff, it might be one other class, and the GT3 is somewhere in the middle, or it's just got the one other faster class with it.
Or yeah, just as we see Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira just catching the curve there on the final corner and putting it in the wall. Yeah, we just see that Daniel Lee ran wide there on the final corner, and yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, definitely an unfortunate way to end the race there. But, yeah, he's back in the pits at the moment, so yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
The really amusing bit about that whole crash is he came out of the final corner flashing his headlights at the car in front, and then promptly stuck it in the wall. So yeah, it might goes to show sometimes it might be better off just leaving that little button alone.
So just looking at Tim Jackson at the moment, currently 14th place on the road, but P3 in the GT3 class. Doing a great job at the moment for Evolution Racing Australia. Currently 2.4 seconds behind Adam Zeitzinger for Pros Force Racing. Yeah, Tim managed to pull back about a half a second to Adam there, so yeah, definitely showing he's got the pace there in that GT3.
Well, I'm amazed to see we've got as many Audis on the track as we do. Audi has got this reputation for not being great over the curbs, and so far they've been going pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure. Have you done much testing in the Audi? Comparing with the the Mercedes, as to how the cars feel over the curbs and the general balance of the car.
Yeah, we've got the 12 hours of Sebring coming up in a couple of weeks. So we've been doing our tests in the Mercedes, the BMW, and the Audi, and yeah, the test in the Audi didn't last very long. We didn't like it over the curbs, especially around Sebring. So I think we're gonna flip a coin between the Merc and the BMW. Gosh, Troy just going off the circuit in the second to last corner. Back on safely though. You'll see, I think at the moment we're sort of leaning towards the BMW at the moment, but BMW or the Mercedes for that matter, not a bad car to go with it either.
Yeah, so currently looking at Abir Afridi, Putra, currently right on the back of Mark Simon, coming through turn 1. Yeah, just maximising all the track there. Currently, looked as though that Putra had an invalid lap, so must have had an off track somewhere. But yeah, right all over the back of Mark Simon there. Mark must have had a bit of a bad lap last time around in 23.8. But yeah, definitely a nice little battle forming up for the back end of the top 10 in the GT3s.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we picked it up on the screen, but I think Ross Rizzo has made his pit stop. He's been in and out, and he's come out in 7th place overall. That's put him in a great position. He's got about just over a second gap to Yali in front of him. If he can make up enough time, he'll be able to jump both Boafia and Klopman when they come around to make their pit stops.
Yeah, definitely. Last week we saw some drivers opting to stay as long as possible with the pit stops, just to maintain the track position. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Ross fares with the two radicals in front of him of Yali and Cameron. Whether he can get through that traffic, and yeah, I think he was about 6/10 quicker in qualifying. So yeah, definitely time to be made. through the
Well,
rest of the race, I think.
Yeah, he's right up, come up to the back of Yali now. Yali is not going to be in any mood to let him by. Legitimately, they are fighting for track position here. But this is really not a fight that Rizzo would have been looking for. Another GT3 getting out of the way behind him.
Yeah, but that's the risk that you have to take sometimes with pitting early, just trying to find a gap in the traffic with the incredible pace that Ross has. And yeah, sometimes you can catch up quickly to the back markers, even though you might not be able to pass them, as we saw last week with Lazardri struggling to get past some of the GT1s in the field. But yeah, it looks as though Ross is lining up Yali for a pass, and yeah, thinks better of it going into turn 3. Very well, yeah, good defensive move from Yali there, just maintaining a position at the moment. Yeah, Ross all over the back of the at the moment, and then, yeah, it looks as though Ross, good move from Ross there, back up into was a 6th place overall on the road, but yeah, 4th in class.
This is, and that's one of those corners where we mentioned, you just have to wait for the car in front of you to make a little mistake with that off camber going over a little hump. Just looks like Yali got a little bit light, and that gave Rizzo the opportunity to get past. Just a note as well, it looks like US De Vries, who's placed second in the GT1 championship, has had enough. He's out of the car, and yeah, he's gone off to enjoy the rest of his weekend. He's done.
Just also saw that Cameron was in the pits, so yeah, just a quick stop and go for him, just a 2.1 second stop. So yeah, he's toured through the pit lane. So very, very similar time to Ross Rizzo with 1.8 second stop. So yeah, very, very strong pit stop from both of those drivers. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares for the rest of the race. We've still got about 60% of the race to go with 28 minutes to go.
If Cameron can pick up a couple more seconds to Callahan and Lazoardi in front of them, he's going to put himself in a position to run in 2nd place. Once the pit stop phase is done, looking at the total pit loss is about 20 seconds, and at the moment, who have we got going into the pits there? Is that Guafia? Guafia's just dropped a couple of places down to 4th.
Yeah, I think he might have had a half spin going through that final corner there, and we saw that Lazardri was able to pick up a place on Dave Callahan through that. So I'm not sure whether Callahan had to jump on the brakes to avoid the spinning GT1 car, but yeah, Lazardri back up into 2nd place overall and currently leading the Radicals, but Callahan diving up the inside into turn 3 there. So yeah, it's going to be a big fight through turn 4. Callahan around the outside, defending the position as Lazardri's not giving up the current lead in the Radical class, but still the effective leader in that class is still Ross Rizzo.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned, Boafia. He was right behind Topman as they came through the last corner, trying to make their way past some traffic. And it looks like he just nailed the gas a little bit too early. Back end came around, didn't put it in the wall quite as badly as that GT3 we saw earlier on, but he did. He scraped it, so I think damage-wise he would have gotten away with it.
Currently looking a bit further down the field. Tim Jackson's actually managed to get past driver of Adam Zeitzinger in Pro Force Racing, so yeah, unfortunately we missed that on track, but yeah, Tim done a great job at the moment, currently 2nd in class for the GT3s, so yeah, he's currently about 6 and a bit seconds behind the current GT3 leader, Ben Hackerson.
Federico Duarte has been in the pits as well. Slightly longer pit stop for him compared to the other two radicals that he's pitted so far. About 2.5 seconds longer. That's brought him out in 12th place overall. So just about 20 minutes done into the race. 25 minutes to go. How long how long is it before we expect any of the GT1s and GT3s to start coming in, Scott?
Well, the GT1 can pit at any time because they're not fuel restricted, but they are required to go down the pit lane. But with the GT3, they are restricted on fuel, so typically see them anywhere from about I would say 30 minutes to go to about I'd say about 15-16 minutes to go. So they've got a fairly large pit window, but of about I'll check around here about 8 to 10 laps. So a fairly decent window to come in and pit, but yeah, definitely no later than I would say half an hour through the race that they would be forced to pit.
Got a great little battle going on between Zoardi and Stephen Callahan and the Radicals at the moment for second place. Well, that's second place overall. It's the lead in the Radicals. Oh, and this will make things interesting. They're just coming up to Brenton O'Brien in a GT3. And this is exactly the same situation. Oh, he spun it!
Oh. Yeah, so
I don't know if that save from Brenton was accidental or on purpose, but he did a great job getting out of the way and not taking anybody else with him. That certainly would have been heart and throat stuff for the two Radicals as they came up to lap him.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed that Ross Rizzo got past Nazadri as well. So, yeah, Ross with an effective pit stop in front of Steve Callahan. So, yeah, Stephen, if he doesn't make any more mistakes here, he's definitely going to take out this win as it currently looks. But yeah, I don't want to bring the commentator's case on him at any stage in this race. But yeah, it's certainly great job that we're seeing from Ross Rizzo today.
That's quite a big chunk of time that he's made up with that. Because after his pit stop, he would have been about 15 or 16 seconds behind these guys, and has managed to close all of that down.
Yeah, so Steve Callahan's on the defensive at the moment, just trying to lead the Radicals around for another time as he's coming around to start lap number 17. Currently 0.2 of a second behind. Oh, yeah, 0.2 of a second in front of Ross. But yeah, see that Colin Plotman's in the pits, so the overall leader coming into the pits. And yeah, he's come out. Very, very fast pit stop, 0.9 of a second in the box. So yeah, he's come out ahead of Lazadri there.
And Rizzo has done exactly what he wanted to do as well. He's jumped Klopman in the pit stop phase. So once Callahan pits, Rizzo should take the overall lead of the race as well. Klopman should be second. Boafia in the meantime has made it into the pits as well. He's come out in 6th place overall, but he'll jump up back to 3rd, it looks like, after the Radicals that's in front of him has gone through the pits. So who have we got leading in the GT3s at the moment? Looks like that's Ben Hackerson.
Yeah, currently 9th overall. Tim Jackson's slowly closing up on him at the moment. Yeah, it was half a second quicker the last time around, but still got about a 3-second gap to Evolution Racing Australia driver. So yeah, Ben's staying consistent at the moment. Yeah, just putting a lap down on that GT1 in front of him. But yeah, Ben Hackerson in the pits now, so effective GT3 leader into the pits. So Tim takes the class lead at the moment. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see when he pits, which should be within the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I think we well and truly put the commentator's curse on Kiradina Buafia as well. He's had another little trip into the grass, managed to keep it out of the wall, but he's lost a good chunk of time. Yeah, his last lap was a 1 minute 32. That's what, 13 seconds that he lost on his previous lap.
Did he do it in the pit lane that last time by? Or was it just
that wasn't his out lap, because he hit the pit lane, and then coming out of looks like his out lap, he spun it again.
Did he? Okay.
So that's put him behind. DK Lee needs to pit still. But this is he's gonna have issues now catching up to Klopman in any way whatsoever. The gap between the two of them is 26 seconds, and both of them has made a pit stop. So I think for him right now it's settling down for the last 19 minutes of this race and trying to take care of that second place finish. Right, so Benjamin Ackerson, who was our GT3 leader, he's been into the pits. It looks like Timothy Jackson's in the pits as well.
Yeah, it looks as though Ben's made it through. Yeah, he has. So yeah, Ben retakes the lead overall. So yeah, 13-second stop for Tim Jackson. Plays a 12.7 stop for Ben Hackerson. So we'll just have to wait and see whether the fuel will come into play with that 0.3 of a second difference in pit stop. But Ben definitely putting the hammer down at the moment, trying to gap Tim Jackson. But yeah, currently leading at the moment is Martin Silvassen in GT3s at the moment. So definitely doing a good job. Currently up 10 positions at the moment.
Silvassi, Kevin and Jason Bain still have to make their pit stops. So that, yeah, like I said, that puts Hackerson in provisional lead. The lead, or the gap to Jackson there is only about 2.2 seconds. Other GT3 is already pitted in a provisional third as Crow, but he's a further 6 seconds back from them. So looks like at this point in time the fight for the win's going to be between Hackerson and I've lost him, Timothy Jackson. Silvassi, it looks like is getting into the pits. Baines is in the pits.
Yeah, so there's a fair bit of activity in the pit lane at the moment. The GT3 is coming through. So you just have to wait and see how that all shakes out within the next lap or so. Just drivers resettling into their positions, but just looking to see if there's any other battles on track at the moment. So we've got Mike Burdett at the moment, currently 16th place overall at the moment, about just over half second behind Martin Silvassi at the moment. Yeah, obviously Martin's just been into the pit lane and just taking fuel at the moment. So yeah, the Delta Sim Sport driver closing on the Apex Mafia Racing driver, and currently will be probably the top 4 or the top 5 battle in the GT3 class. So yeah, nice and close battle with still got 16 minutes to go.
Trying to see their fastest lap times between Silvassi and Burdett. Looks like Burdett's got a bit of pace on Silvassi, and that is a fight for position. They will be quite keen to try and get through there. Kevin Wong in the pits as well. He's going to drop down a few places, and then I think he's the last to make it into the pits. So he's made the fuel last longer than anybody else has.
Currently on my timing screen, it's DK Lee, Jasmine Yali, and Brenton O'Brien left to take to the pit lane. But it looks like DK Lee and Yasmin Yali are in cars that are not fuel restricted, so they still can pit within the next 14 minutes or so. But yeah, as long as they take to the pit lane before the checkered flag, they will be able to take their position without penalty from the stewards.
Meantime, Kevin Wong has made his way out of the pits. He's sitting 20th overall, and that's exactly where he started the race as well. Timothy Jackson looks like he's gotten past Ben Hackerson.
Yeah, he has. So yeah, a bit of a poor lap from Hackerson. Maybe made a mistake somewhere that we didn't see. I'll try and have a replay of that to see whether might have been down the inside somewhere.
It was just coming through turn 11 at the end of that last lap. He was behind Brenton O'Brien, and the back end got a little bit loose, had to take to the grass, and that let Calam through. I tell you, poor old Brenton today is he can't catch a break. He's got these faster cars catching up to him through that section, and through no fault of his own, they just seem to it was like a magnet on his car. They just seem to spin it out. See how it works. This works out from this time around. Timothy Jackson taking the lead, O'Brien getting out of the way.
Yeah, so gap currently at the moment between Jackson and Hackerson is 2 seconds. So yeah, Hackerson lost about 7/10 that last lap. Going through the traffic, so yeah, he'd be looking to push through. Looks as though he's gained about 1/10 or so in the first sector. So yeah, he's definitely pushing hard to close up on the ERA driver of Jackson.
Yeah, they're pretty much on the same pace, fastest lap wise. I think it's a mistake at Hackerson. He's going to kick himself for it. I think it was just a case of sitting behind another car going through turn 11. Couldn't quite spot his braking point and ran a little bit wide on the exit.
Yeah, that's definitely something you have to watch out for in this multi-class format. Just with the traffic and especially with the tight nature of the circuit as well. It's sort of with got a little bit of runoff area, but yeah, obviously if you get on the grass, and yeah, it's definitely makes it a lot harder to pull up. So yeah, it's definitely unfortunate for the driver, the drivers that come onto that traffic and that. So.
Now, Mid-Ohio is one of those tracks that we see pop up very regularly in the official series, and it seems to be quite a big iRacing favorite. You got any particular love for this track?
In the open wheelies, not so much. In the Formula 1 I typically race. Yeah, definitely that turn 4 is a bit of a... You've got to have the right neck for the setup, just to make sure that you don't oversteer off the off-camber nature of the second part of that corner as well. But yeah, apart from that corner, yeah, it's nice, fast and flowing. Yeah, definitely a favourite for some of the drivers out there. But yeah, for me, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it. It's
very much car dependent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on a good day, yeah, definitely definitely love the circuit, but yeah, obviously if it hasn't been such a good day, then yeah, typically want to forget about it and move on to the next track.
There's always something you see when you see this track pop up on a schedule, be it for an official series or a private league such as this. You already start working out in your mind's eye how you're gonna set up the car to negotiate, like I said, these little over the crest off-camber corners. Usually it's just problems I see. I don't see any solutions.
Okay, so we're coming up to about 10 minutes to go. I'm just going to take stock of where we are exactly. Ross Rizzo currently leading at the moment. Colin Klopman 4.9 seconds behind him. We've got Yasmin Yali in third, Steve Callahan fourth. Quite a sizable gap between Yali and Steve Callahan, about 20 seconds. And then Katerine Buafia in sixth place. Oh, he's actually falling down the standings at the moment. I'm not sure what's happened there, but currently, yeah, we've got Dick Haley currently in the top 5 at the moment. The standings. That changes again, so yeah, I'll have to see where we are across the next lap. But yeah, Ross Rizzo, yeah, definitely doing a sterling job at the moment. Currently leading is he's about to start lap 27, so we've got about 7 laps to go with about 9 minutes to go. So.
There's a couple of drivers that's had some really good races today. I was looking through, like I said, DK Lee, he's up 6 places from where he started in the overall standings. Timothy Jackson is up 9 places. Martin Silvastri is up 6. Nurazam is up 8 places, and Daniel Leeds another good one. Biggest climber on the grid, down in 19th place at the moment is Indra Ferianto. He's up 12 places. We're starting down in 31st place. He's had a good one. He'll be happy with his day as well.
Yeah, definitely coming up through from the back of the grid as well. Sterling job from him, especially in the BMW there. Typically a car that would be suited to this track, given the nature of the downforce that the car can generate, but obviously not as strong suited out of the traction zones coming out of turn 2, which they are heading out of now. So yeah, definitely Intraferiente doing a great job making as many positions as he has today.
I'll tell you what, you might have a look at having another position. Mike Burdett in front of him had a little off on the previous lap. Last lap was a 1:42 for him. So yeah, Ferianto might be having a look at getting in 13th place there.
Just having a look at the class leaders as well. Colin Klopman currently leading GT1, second place overall, and yeah, Tim Jackson managing to pull out the gap even further to Ben Hackerson. Another 1 second the last time around, so the gap between P1 and 2 and the GT3s at the moment is about 4 to 4.5 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, Hackerson hasn't had a good time after the pit stop. A few mistakes here and there, and it looks like Crow, that time he lost was due to Crow overtaking as well. So now he's got a radical between himself and Jackson. And like I said, that gap has grown. That's up to nearly 5 seconds. And Crow right on the back of Jackson as well. So now if I was Hackerson, I'd hope that radical just does something as Crow goes past Jackson. No time lost there. Well, that puts that to bed.
Yeah, definitely a good move from Lachlan there. Just seems to sports right, but yeah, it looks like Ross Rizzo coming up to lap the both of them. So yeah, definitely a strong pace from Ross, who's currently lapped everyone up to P6 on the road. So yeah, definitely a strong performance from him.
it's so important just to keep your nose clean in these races and just be consistent with your lap times. I mean, if you can manage that, then you're gonna score good finishes, aren't you?
Yeah, just as we see DK Lee take to the pit lane, so at the moment the only car left to take to the pit lane is Yasmin Yali with about 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go, so we'll just have to wait and see whether he takes to the pit lane within the next 1 or 2 laps. He's coming through turn 8 or 9 through this fast lane section into the final sector. Currently up only 1 position, but yeah, still a solid drive from him tonight for Wilder Motorsport.
Well, just under 5 minutes left to go. It was very interesting to watch. I certainly wasn't expecting the front runners to catch up with the back of the field as quickly as they did, especially since we didn't see any major accidents at the start of the race to warrant that gap. But once these guys start mixing it up, I suppose it can get really confusing if you're in the race and you've got cars lapping you in one class and you're trying to fight the same class for position. Yeah, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to work out while you're trying to negotiate the track as well.
Just having a look at the battle between Kevin Wong and Dan Lead at the moment. See that there's a radical going past. Looks like a Macau racing driver. But yeah, Wong making a small mistake there, and the gap increasing to Dan Lead. The gap at the last time around was about half a second between those two drivers. So yeah, definitely a strong showing from Kevin, up 3 places on the grid. So yeah, definitely that radical driver looking to get past Dan Leak, and yeah, it should be a fun battle forming up within the final 3 minutes of the race.
Yeah, that radical is gonna try and make his way past Leith as well. I'm sure Wong will be hoping that it costs Leith some time in doing so he can get back up to the back of Leith. And see if well, they're gonna slug it out for that position, aren't they?
Just as the radical comes through into turn 1, so the gap currently between Leith and Wong still remains at about 5.5 tenths per second. So yeah, not much time lost for Kevin the last time around.
Oh, he's gone wide. He's gone wide.
Yeah, but he'll get the traction out of that corner as well. So, and obviously with the straight line speed that Merc has, it'll be very difficult for Kevin to gain the time back, as he's trying to have a look down the inside, and always got half a car length, but yeah, he manages to back out, and yeah, Leak maintains the position. It's coming up to 2 minutes to go in the race.
Yeah, Kevin wasn't moving that car back onto the racing line as they went into that corner. Something like that always makes me a little bit nervous, because you know the guy behind you is thinking about it, and it's a good tactic, I think, to coax the guy in front of you into a little mistake. Getting up really close as they come through turn 11. There's a radical off the track through a tricky turn 12 onto back onto the start-finish straight.
So yeah, well, Kevin makes a small mistake there, just running a little bit deep there. So yeah, that'll cost him at least 3 tenths of a second. So yeah, a bit of an unfortunate error from Kevin there, just trying to get closer, but yeah, has ended up costing him more than he would have wanted. Let's have a look at where Ross Rizzo is at the moment, as he's coming through to turn number 2. We'll just have to wait and see if this is the final lap of the race. But yeah, definitely a dominant position from Ross Rizzo today. Currently 8.5 seconds gap to the second place driver overall, but overall GT1 leader of Kyle Klopman, but yeah, 34 seconds in front of the P2 driver, Steve Callahan.
And he played it smart all race as well. He got overtaken by the two GT1s at the start of the race. He didn't get himself into a position where he tried to force an overtake over them to extend his gap. He sat there, made an early pit stop, came in, and a really controlled and safe display from him, really. Oh, we've got Buafi in the pits again as well.
Yeah, but, yes. Ross Rizzo, see the white flags out, so yeah, Ross Rizzo coming around the final corner, and yeah, he wins round 5 with Sim Racers Asia at Mid-Ohio, so yeah, congratulations to him on taking the overall win. Colin Klopman coming around the final corner now, the class leader in the GT1 and second overall. Yeah, just waiting for Steve Callahan to come around in second place in the Radical, but third overall, as he's coming around the final corner now. And obviously we got lap cars going through as well, but yeah, so congratulations to him as well. And Lazati only 2.2 seconds back from Callahan, and Yali further to a bit seconds back. So yeah, wait and see. Jackson is there. I think he's already crossed the line as well, so yeah, congratulations to him taking the GT3 overall win today as well, so congratulations to the class leaders, and obviously some pro racing that was had today.
Yeah, we saw some great racing, and like in the case of Rizzo and Klopman, a great traffic negotiation as well. They really kept it on track and did a consistent job. You saw a couple of the people behind them, Boafi and second place Hackerson and the GT3 just not having a good time of it after the pit stops at all. And that's ultimately where those guys lost their races.
Maybe Ben Hackerson is.
He come in third in there.
Oh, he must have made a mistake somewhere, because that would have put Silvassi in second place overall. So, second place in the GT3s. So, yeah, I can't see Ben on my time screen at the moment. Yeah, he's fallen down behind Zeitinger, so he must have had a big issue earlier within the final 5 minutes. But yeah, so yeah, just I'll get you to take us through the race results, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, I'll just try and clear up Hackerson's issues. And so I've got one screen showing him as in third place, and the other one is in second. But we'll run with what we've got, with Ross Rizzo taking the overall win after starting from pole as well. Koen Klopman in the Corvette in second place. Then the next 4 cars were all Radical. Stephen Callahan in third, Fanny Lazuardi in fourth place, Jazrin Yali in fifth, and we've got Federico Duarte in sixth place. Then the next 2 cars were Corvettes with DK Lee in second place. Boafi losing that second place on the final 2 laps with a trip to the pits. He was in third. Lachlan Crow in ninth place, and another Radical. Timothy Jackson taking the win in the GT3s, with looks like Benjamin Hackerson getting that second place. Jeffrey Price in a Corvette in 12th place overall. 13th place was Nathan Cameron. Martin Salvassi in 14th place. Ahmed Nurzam in 15th. Daniel Leet in 16th. He managed to get stay in front of Kevin Ang for 17th place. Abi Fradi Putra in 18th, Benjamin Brook in 19th, Indra Ferrianto in 20th place, Simon Sanchez in 21st, Mark Simon in 22nd place, Bruno Cardoso in 23rd, Brenton O'Brien, he's had an eventful day, managed to make up 12 places though, finished in 24th place, Adam Zeitinger in 25th, Mark Lang in 26th, 27th was Tracy Romschlag, Matthew Klut in, I think that was the last radical, in 28th place, Hugo Silva Jr. in 29th, Mark Bedette in 30th, Jason Benz in 31st. As it looks like we had a couple of non-finisher, Jason Benz being one of them, Sean Thompson, Cash Choi, US de Vries, Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira in 35th, Simon Fiegel, Nuno Pereira Tang, and Kim Kyung Oh, the last of the non-finishers in 38th place.
Okay, so I'll just put the TeamSpeak details if any of the drivers wanted to come through and have a quick interview. But yeah, just to round out the this race at Mid Ohio, it's been a fantastic race. Also looking forward to next week. We are at
Kota, isn't it?
Yeah, we're at Kota, so definitely a Tilka style track. Obviously in Texas, the USA. So yeah, it should be a fun race next week on the Grand Prix layout. Yeah, definitely, I reckon it'll be suited to the radical. So yeah, looking into next week, what are your thoughts on the race next week?
Well, it's like you said, it's definitely a track. I think out of the three classes, it's going to suit the radical the best. The Pearl GT1, as big as lumpy, it's not particularly keen on those S's in the first part of the track. GT3 should be pretty comfortable around there as well. Hopefully, we get a good turnout for it. And so now it's one of those Marmite tracks as well, isn't it? It's you either love it or you hate it. It tends to lean to the latter for me. I think I still have to do an official race around Kota, but we'll see how it goes. And it might just be a track where the radical doesn't get caught up as much with the GT1s as we've seen today and last week around Suzuka as well.
But you've also got to watch out for the back straight as well, where the GT1s will be hard on the power trying to get past the radical as well. So as long as the GT1 can stay with the radical, yeah, I think it should be a good race. But yeah, I did see Carl Klopman jump in the TeamSpeak, but yeah, back out. So yeah, I'll just wait a few more seconds just to see if anyone else turns up. But yeah, so looking forward to what else is on Apex Racing TV. I think we got the BSR Kia Cup Series tonight. Is that correct? Right?
Oh, Saturday. It's we've got a lot going on. You've put me on the spot now. I'll quickly have a look and see if I can find what else we've got coming up.
Yeah, so I think we got the BSR Kia Cup Series on Apex Racing TV starting at 20 GMT on Saturday night. So yeah, it should be a good race for that one. Tomorrow we've got the BSR MX5 Cup as well, along with the Club 73 race around 20 GMT as well. So yeah, definitely should be good for that one.
Our first stream on the Sunday is the IMSA Sports Car Series, the official stuff. And that's around, I believe, Montreal this week.
Yeah, I think coverage started at about 16:45 GMT. For that one, I think that's the split that gets broadcast live. Also, yeah, then following that, BSR MX5, and then the Club 73 with the Kia and the VW Jetta. Then on the Monday we've got the Porsche official series, the top split. I think that's 1945 GMT as well. So, and then on the Tuesday we've got the BSR Formula Renault around Twin Ring Motegi at 20 GMT as well. So yeah, definitely looking forward to what's coming up on Apex Racing TV.
Yeah, busy couple of days for both you and I coming up. I believe you're covering the cameras for the Club 73 series. Myself, I've got the Porsches on Monday, and the IMSA broadcast tomorrow. So yeah, it should be good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think with none of the drivers turning up for an interview, yeah. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Just as I say that, yeah, we've got Ross Rizzo coming in for a chat. So yeah, I'll hand it over to you for a driver interview, if that's all right.
I'm putting me on the spot again. That's fine. Well, we've got Ross Rizzo with us, the overall winner of the race, and winner of the radical class as well. Ross, welcome. Good controlled drive out there. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Thanks for inviting me in, Conrad and Scott, and also thanks for hosting and commentating this very exciting series. It's obviously a bit topsy-turvy given the pace and strengths of the Corvettes and the Radicals. But yeah, it certainly wasn't controlled. I can say that much. If it looked comfortable, it definitely wasn't, because those Corvettes down the straight make it extremely difficult to get your track position back. Like I lost at the start, so I had to change my game plan quite a lot around that.
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, obviously the GT1's got the jump on you at the start, and then we thought, this might put you under a little bit of pressure with the second Radical just behind you, but you seem to go with the GT1s and pull a little bit of a gap. Was that the plan, just to sit behind them and get a little bit of a gap instead of forcing the overtake on them?
Yeah, that was exactly it. Like the lap times, they were fine, so I wasn't too rushed. It was only when they really started to squabble that I wanted to get away and pull into the pits. And I think, I'm not sure whether Yazarine had pitted or not, but I came out behind him and thought that was probably the wrong strategy. Probably should have stayed out longer, but either way, it worked, and I just wanted to, yeah, as you said, I was comfortable following them. But yeah, once it got a little bit messy, I wanted to get out of there.
So please tell me you do have a spotter, because we did see you pitting quite early on. I think you were the first person into the pits. If you don't have a spotter, how do you sit there, look at those timings and think, if I pit now, I'm going to get out into this particular gap, and that should be good?
Truth is, I don't have a spotter. I just do it. I just wing it. And yeah, I know the risk with pitting relatively early is I'll end up either in the middle of the Radicals or hopefully way behind them. Yeah, I got that timing wrong this time. Normally it was normally I come out in pretty comfortable air, but yeah, I just guess normally the relative or the other black box that shows the top 7 standings is normally enough to go by.
Well, it certainly seemed to work out not too badly. So after the pit stops were done, you had jumped the GT1s and were out in the lead, and I suppose that gave you an opportunity to just sort of run your own race from there, not to worry with any traffic that was going to fight for track position in front of you.
Yeah, and I was really grateful for that. I was really surprised it actually worked out that way. After as I saw Yazreen ahead of me, I thought I'd made a pretty big mistake, but it all seemed to turn out. Cohen came out behind me, and I think Carradine came out ahead of me as well, but that might have been a spin, because then he pitted the next lap, so I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, I lucked out pretty well that the strategy worked out.
Well, from our perspective, it does get to a point in these races, and it gets pretty hectic. Again, congratulations on the win overall and in the Radicals. We've got Kota next week. Scott and I were saying it's a bit of a Marmite track. You either love it or you hate it. You keen for Kota next week?
It'll be the first time I've raced it on iRacing, so that'll be very scary, I think. Yeah, and especially those. Is it the full circuit or one of the international variants?
I believe you've got the Grand Prix circuit.
Oh no, those Corvettes are going to be a real menace.
Yeah, you've got that long straight down the back. From my point of view, I reckon if you can get a big enough gap going through the first part of the track through those S's, then you should be okay going down the straight. But it's getting that gap in the first place, and it's got those big sausage curbs. So yeah, you guys are going to be in for a real treat.
Yeah, it's going to be one to watch, and the problem with pulling a gap in the first part of the track is I think the Corvette absorbs bumps better than the Radical, so chances are they'll be the car to beat overall next week through the corners, down the straights. So I think either way it's going to be a race really worth tuning in for all the viewers watching.
Yeah, well, we're certainly looking forward to it. I'm not sure whether they're going to pull me in again or we're going to have Mr. Simpson back, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. Congratulations on today's result, and best of luck for next week.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for pulling me in, and thanks again for commentating the series.
No problem. Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Well, we'll drag up Koen Klopman as well. We've got Mr. Koen Klopman, winner of the GT1. I believe that was second overall. Yeah, interesting race out there today, Koen. How was that for you?
Well, in the beginning it was a bit tough with Wafia behind me. He's really fast. He's a really quick guy we have to watch out for. I mean, he had a really fast time in qualifying, so somehow he made a mistake, I think. I don't know where I overtook him. I think it was turn 2 where I got the jump on him. And then sadly he made a mistake in the last turn, which concluded the race.
Yeah, I mean, he stuck with you really well at the start of the race, especially with Ross just behind him as well. But I mean, just thinking back in the race, I think you caught a bit of traffic, a GT3 coming through the last 2 corners, and it looked like he was lining himself up to try and have a go for the lead, but then made a little mistake. I mean, I think the race was pretty set from there. For yourself, how did you approach it once he's made that mistake? Is it just a case of trying to concentrate and not do the same?
Maybe, but I was just focusing on Ross because it's just a fun battle between the Corvette and the Radical. I mean, Ross is really fast in the infield and I'm just gaining on him on the straight. So, yeah, it's just driving the race out basically.
How do you approach that from race to race? You're doing your battle within your own class, and then you've got a guy like Ross Rizzo in a different car in a different class, sticking his nose in there and generally being a bit of a nuisance. Is it more a sense of frustration that you can't just do your own race, or like you said, having a bit of fun battling with a different class?
Of course, you have to have respect for the other class. I mean, if you just dive bomb every car on track, that's not good. I mean, it's really good from Ross that he doesn't overtake us in the first couple of laps. I mean, we were battling for the lead, and he probably thought like, well, those guys are battling, I'm not gonna stick my nose in there. But when I came back on track after my pit stop, I saw, can't remember his name, but Ross was battling with another car. I thought like, I'm not gonna have any part in this, I'm just gonna keep behind.
Yeah, just having spoken to him, from his perspective, those opening laps was you guys in the GT1 was quick enough to pull a gap to the second place Radical, and for him it's just a case of sticking with you guys and not making any silly moves since you were in a battle for the lead. Next week you've got the Circuit of the Americas coming up. We were saying it might suit the Radicals a little bit more with those fast flowing corners because the Radicals got a lot more downforce. I assume you've been around the track, you've done it a few times before. Looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, Kota. It's a different story. I mean, I just absolutely hate that first sector because those corners are just not fast enough. I mean, the flow isn't there, but that's just my personal opinion. Of course, we have the back straight, so the Corvette is going to be really fast there. Not sure about the downforce of the Radical because I don't even own that car, so I have no idea how it drives and how fast it can be. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Oh, once you come up to the traffic, it should certainly make things interesting. Trying to get past them, and it's really just that long straight down the back where you can comfortably overtake people. The rest of it is going to be really tricky. But I mean, yeah, thank you very much for popping in, chatting to us. Congratulations on the win today, and we're really looking forward to seeing you guys out track next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, best of luck.
See ya.
Well, there we go. We've had the two winners in the Radical and the GT1 popping in for a chat. Really interesting to hear from them and see how they approach those opening laps today. Like Scott said, next week we're around the circuit of the Americas, same time, 1300 GMT. I'm sure Mr. Newton will be able to tell us what time that is on the Australasian side. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. With in Australasian times, it's 9 p.m. Singapore/Perth time, and currently with daylight savings, it's midnight Sunday morning Sydney time, or the eastern states, or 11 p.m. Queensland time. So yeah, definitely looking forward to Coda next week. So yeah, thanks Conrad for jumping in the booth alongside me, and yeah, just covering for Alex Simpson. But I think that's just about going to wrap it up for Sim Races Asia round 5 at Mid-Ohio. Yeah, definitely catch us at yeah, roughly about 12:45 GMT for when coverage starts for COTA. So yeah, catch you later.